So assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to build two projects, and one by one is workshop, which we will have steps, so it will be easy for us, and another will be a travel weather planner, so it's a lab, we have to do it on ourselves. So at first we are going to start the workshop, so let's get started. So step number one is I'm not going to explain the scenario. I will just focus on the coding part, because if I sit back and explain the scenario, the video will become very long. So let's jump to the coding part. So we have to create a variable name base price to store the base price of the movie ticket and set its value to 15. So each movie ticket is going to be of $15. You have to create another variable age, and to store the age of the variable, and it's 21. Step number 2 is we have to create a seat type the user has selected, and set it to a string gold, and we have to create another variable which stores the duration of the movie. Sorry, it stores when the movie will be played in the theater, and we have to set its value to evening. So we have step number 3. We have to use an if statement to check whether the age variable is greater than 17. If yes, then we have to tell the user that he is eligible for booking the tickets of the movie. So step number 4 is that we have to create another if statement So we will be going to use the nested if statement to check if the age is greater than or equal to 21. Then the user is eligible for the evening shows. So in the first if statement we are checking whether the age of the user is greater than 17. If yes, then he is eligible to book a ticket, and if the age of the variable is if the age of the user is greater than or equal to 21, then he can book tickets for the evening shows. So step number 5 is that we have to add another clause, else So in a case in which if statement is not executed, so in other words, we are going to make a plan B. And just following the else statement, if statement, we are going to print uh, uh, we have made another uh, conditional statement, else statement, just following the if statement. If this if statement is not executed, this else statement will be executed. Okay, we have to create another variable is member to indicate if the user is a member and set its value to be true. We have to create another variable that is week, and it's a self-explanatory variable. So step number 7 is that we have to create another variable discount and set its value to be 0. This variable will store the discount and the user will have on a ticket. So we have to create another if statement to check if whether is member is truthy. Inside the body of statement, we have to update discount value to 3 and print user qualifies for the membership discount. So if is member is true, then this if block will be executed. If is member is false, this if block will not be executed. So we have step number 9. We are going to add an else block for this if statement. In a logical sense, if user is not a member, then what we are going to do in that case, and we will handle that case in this else statement. So we have to display the updated value of discount. We have to add an else statement and print user does not qualify for the membership discount, and then we have to display the value of discount outside the if else statements. So we have to follow this order. So step number 10, we have to use the AND operator. So membership discount should only apply to members if their age is greater than or equal to 21. So we have to update the condition if is member line by using AND. So there is member line and we have to add an AND operator. And we have to check whether the age is greater than or equal to 21. So we have to change the value of this member variable to false. And as both of these situations are not correct, only age is greater than or equal to 21, this statement is true, but AND operator needs all of the conditions to be true. So for that case, this if statement will not be executed, hence this else statement is being executed. So step number 12 is we have to create another variable extra charges and set it to 0. We have to create another variable, another if statement to check whether is weekend is truthy. Inside the body of your statement, update extra charges to 2 and print extra charges will be applied. So we have number 13. We have to add an else block for this if statement, and if the value of is so if that if block is not executed, when it will not be executed at that time when the is weekend has a false value. So else block will be executed. In that scenario, we have to print no extra charges will be applied. This message will be shown if the movie is not being shown or ticket is not being booked on a weekend. So below the else block we have to print extra charges and comma and show the value of the extra charges. So extra charges should only apply if the show is in the evening. So extra charge should also apply if the show is in the evening. So there are two conditions in which extra charges will be applied to a ticket of the show. So first condition is if the ticket is being booked for a weekend, or the show is going to start in evening. So we have to include show time. So yes, step number 15 is that we have to create an if statement to check if age is greater than or equal to 21. Inside the body of a statement, we have to print this matches the ticket booking condition satisfied to the terminal. We could have put this print statement in. So no, we could not put that because in an already existing if statement there are compound conditional statements, so we could not achieve our desired outputs if we have put that there. So we have to make the if statement, this new if statement anyways. So we have to do that. Now we have to add an else clause to it and print ticket booking failed due to restrictions. So step number 15 is that if a user is between the ages of 18 and 21, he can book tickets, but only when the show time is not evening. So we have to update the condition of if age is greater than or equal to 21 line and use the AND operator here, and we have to add another condition here to check checking if age is greater than or equal to 18. And show time is not equal to 18. So show time variable should not have a value evening. So we use double equal to check the equality on both sides, and if we use an exclamation and equal, this operator only shows true when the left value is not equal to the right. So evening. So we have to close this in parentheses because this is new statement, and we have to so what we did here, this age is greater than equal to 21 was existing previously, but we have to add another compound conditional statements at once, and we had to use AND operator for that purpose. But for combining those two newly added conditionals to our existing age is greater than or equal to 1 conditional, we had to use an operator. Step number 17 is, say we have to add an other condition here using the OR operator to check whether is member is truthy. Use parentheses to group show time conditional with is member. Show time conditional with is member. So yes. So step number 18 is, so we are going to use nested if statement here. So let me briefly explain that what are its advantages when we are evaluating conditionals and using conditional statements. So a nested if statement helps us check for additional conditional only when the first condition has already been satisfied. So we have to create inside the body of the last if statement, we have to create print ticket booking condition satisfied line. We have to create another variable service charges and have to set it 0. So we are indenting it from the left side by a tab or 4 spaces to make sure that all of these indented statements are in the body of the if statement. So we have to create a nested if statement to check whether the seat type is equal to premium if yes, then we have to update the service charges to value of 5. So step number 19, we have to add an else block for this nested if statement. So we are adding an else block. And here we have to update this service charges to 1. Step number 20. So we use if, elif and else statement to check for multiple conditionals in order, but they are not dependent on but each condition is not dependent on any of the other condition. So we have to add an elif clause here, elif statement or clause. But where do we add it? We have already added if block and else block, so we added between the if and else block the block of the elif statement. So we wrote the keyword elif, and after that we are going to put our condition. And it checks whether the seed type is gold. If yes, then service charges are set to 3. So beneath all of these if, elif and else statement, we have to add a print statement to display the message service charges so step number 21 is that we have to calculate the final price of the movie ticket using all the variable and values that we have created or noted down. So still in the last if statement, this one, we are going to calculate here the final price of the ticket. You have to create another variable, final price. So how do we calculate the final price? By adding the extra charges. So we have to include the extra charges and service charges to the base price. And after all of this, we have to print the final price है, final price of the ticket. So we have to show the final price of the ticket to the terminal. So yes, we have completed our project here. I had decided to build this lab also today, but I am very tired now. We will do this tomorrow. Till then, Allah Hafiz.